Hey everybody, welcome to the first Q&A video. Remember to keep asking questions. I'll answer pretty much anything, whether it's gaming related or not. Just don't ask me what are my thoughts on insert game here, because that constitutes a review or my thoughts on video, not a Q&A thing, because this is just supposed to be my opinion on something, like a concept or something. So if you're asking about like a concept in a game, then sure, that's fine. But if you're asking about, like, what do you think about this game, just period, then I'm not going to answer that kind of question. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with a question from Mesidonaa. And Mesidonaa asks, talking about 3D compatibility on 360, PS3, and PC with Call of Duty Black Ops. And he's assuming that other games in the future will be as well. And if you're a she, sorry about that. But what's your opinion concerning 3D technology being implemented in movies and now games? Well, it's a gimmick. That's pretty much sums it up right now. Once they improve the technology, make it much more accessible, much cheaper, and much less headache-inducing. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I watch something in 3D, it gives me a massive headache, especially about halfway through the movie. And we're talking about an hour in. Imagine playing a game for 5 hours, and you'll be having an aneurysm or something. It's horrible. But that's pretty much it right now. I mean, the technology is just not there yet. Once they improve it, it'll be better, and I'm sure it'll become eventually useful. And but then, of course, we'll have to start talking about polygonal 3D and stereoscopic 3D, and that's going to be a big pain. Anyway, next question. I got two, and I bundled them together. Bib16Bear asks, who inspired you to do game reviews on YouTube? And Tasuke asks, what inspired you to make videos? Excuse me. Basically nothing really inspired me to make videos or do game reviews. I just started doing them. And I guess you can say the inspiration a little bit came from the Angry Video Game Nerd. But those aren't really reviews. Those are rants. And I just didn't do that kind of thing until I started doing the games that infuriate me to no end. And so that's just, I mean, I just saw these videos. I'm like, hey, might as well kind of do this kind of thing. But I don't know. And I didn't really feel like writing a big, long review, because I know nobody likes to read long reviews or anything. So I figured, why not? A short video review will work. And that's pretty much what I'll do, what I started with. And it's just gone from there. Gunker1991 asks, he's not going to go game-related, and that's fine by me. He wants to know what my stance on religion is. And basically, I don't care if you believe or not. If you're an atheist or a Jew, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, Pastafarian, whatever you are, I'm fine with that. Believe whatever you want to believe, but don't try to force it on me. I personally don't follow a religion. It doesn't mean I don't believe anything, but I don't follow any religion per se, because I just think they're man-made institutions and therefore flawed. So that's just the way I think, but I don't really get into a big philosophical or religious debate here or anything. LazercatFTW asks, have I ever thought of doing console or handheld games? Why or why not? If so, what systems and games? Well, of course I've thought about doing them. I have done them. I've done some Genesis game reviews, and I guess that counts as console game reviews, doesn't it? Well, it should be anyway. But that's pretty much it. I haven't been able to record stuff from my GameCube or my 360. So I can't do Xbox or GameCube reviews yet. I tried to do my thoughts on video for Deadliest Warrior, the game on the 360, and the video quality was awful. But that's pretty much what's going to be if I actually try to do console reviews. As for handheld, GBA, Game Boy Advance, and Nintendo DS. That's it. xISOULx, xISOULx asks, what's the best D&D based game? Depends on what you want. Most of them are all very good, but out of the ones I've played, the best ones have been the Baldur's Gate series, Planescape Torment, and the Temple of Elemental Evil, but all for very different reasons. Because Baldur's Gate, the entire series, is your extremely stereotypical, like D&D experience, and it pretty much sums up D&D in a nutshell. It's a great game, great two games actually, but I consider it to be one entity. But it's a great D&D experience if you're looking to get into a kind of a casual-esque D&D experience. Planescape Torment is a really emphasizing the role-playing aspect of D&D, and it's set in the Planescape, which is a very rarely used setting in D&D. And so if you want something very kind of like for the more hardcore role players, that's what you want to go with. But if you want to go even more hardcore than that, you go with Temple of Elemental Evil, which is pretty much a dungeon crawler, actually. But it is extremely true to the actual 3.5 rule set. It's about as close to the tabletop as you can get. And on a related note, actually, J0UZZE, I guess Jews, asks, have I ever played traditional tabletop RPGs? Yes, I have. I have played Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition, slash 3.5, I guess you could say, and I have played Vampire the Requiem, which is the latest version of the White Wolf Vampire the Masquerade. Well, the previous version was Vampire the Masquerade, so you'll know it by that. But I have played that. So that's what I've played in terms of tabletop role-playing games, and so I have played them, and I do enjoy them quite a lot. But I'm actually more of a forum-based role player, which is kind of weird. But anyway, if you want me to explain that, then let me know. MJ1284 asks, this one's leaning more towards a viewer request, blah, blah, blah. In case I've seen the Dragon Age 2 gameplay footage, what was my first thought? What's my reaction to the fact that it'll have a fixed PC and dialogue wheel, similar to Mass Effect? And he's a little skeptical toward the whole thing. First off, the fixed player character and dialogue wheel. The dialogue wheel never got on my nerves, so I don't see why people think it's so ridiculous. It's really no different than the list of responses or anything. It's just shortened up. So that's fine. The fixed player character, I'm fine with that too, but I'm curious to see how BioWare pulls off Dragon Age 2. Because in Dragon Age Origins, I really liked the fact that you could create your own character and make them pretty much whoever you wanted them to be. So I kind of miss that now, and so now we're stuck with a human, male or female, and it's like, whatever. But hopefully it'll be good. And the gameplay footage I saw some combat footage, and the combat looks so much better than Dragon Age Origins. I hated the sluggishness in Dragon Age Origins, but this one's ridiculously fast-paced, really captures the feel of like the trailers that you saw for Dragon Age 1. It was pretty awesome. Anyway, that's pretty much what I'm thinking about that. I'm pretty pumped for that one. M4E Jackrippa X asks, this was on a Steam thing actually, and so if you want to post comments on the Steam page, you're fine. You can do that, and I can answer those questions as well. Why don't I take the time to edit videos a bit more to help get my point across, talking about like editing gameplay footage to highlight parts I'm talking about? That takes too long. That's the really short thing. I mean, that's part of the reason I hate doing the Arena Let's Play. The editing process takes forever, and it's just too complicated for me to really do it. I guess you can say I can't be asked. And like with gameplay footage, you'd have to record different footage, and it'd be sporadic and everything. It'd take forever to do these reviews, and I think you'd rather me just get my point across, period, than to spend about, I don't know, a couple more weeks trying to get it all fixed up and fancy and everything. But anyway. And I also think that people can get a little lost in the fancy editing and all that kind of stuff. So that's really what I think about it. It's much better to actually just show you how the game plays in general, as opposed to try to highlight different little things and just have it this disjointed effect. Continuing this, iScrewy asks, do you like Move or Connect? And no, but I don't hate them either. Move's pretty much your Nintendo Wiimote kind of thing, and I haven't really played with it because I don't like the PlayStation controller or console at all. In fact, I hate PlayStation. But as for Kinect, it just looks stupid. I mean, I've never been really into motion control, so neither of these really appeal to me at all. I'm sure that the technology is fascinating and everything, but I just don't really care. Because I've played through a lot of stuff on the Wii at some friends' houses, and it's really not that fun to control things with motion control. I mean, I'd much rather just have a controller or a keyboard and mouse. It's that simple. And finally, Divine Soldier X asks, where am I from? I sound like I have a slight southern accent. That's because I'm from the Midwest. We have a nice little mix here, and yes, I do have a slight southern accent, and that's mostly because of where my family comes from. But we're not from the deep south or anything. We're just from it's the kind of the border states between the North and the South. So there you go. And so if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will try to answer them. If I can't answer them in a comment, or if I don't want to answer them in a comment, I'll put them in for a Q&A video. And I'm trying to keep it for 10 questions per video. And so if you guys enjoyed this question and answer video, then let me know, and I'll keep doing it.